Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. This coming week, we're going to be graphing from y equals mx plus b. We're going to be graphing lines. A couple of times you've asked me about the pictures at the front of my room. We'll be doing that project. But first of all, we got to make sure that we can take whatever equation we get that looks like this and create this line from it. So we're graphing from the equation y equals mx plus b. And this gives us all the information that we need. M is our slope, and that's what we're going to look at first. We've done this before, rise over run. If my slope is a positive number, maybe 3/2 or 4, which I would write as 4 over 1, whatever. If it's positive, my rise is going to be up and my run is right. So up and right, and I get my next point. Up and right, and I get my next point. Up and right. That's how I'm going to get my points for graphing my line. Now we can also do down and left. If I'm looking at my line and maybe I don't have enough space to graph, then I can go down and left, down, left. Because remember, when you're dividing, two negatives still make a positive, okay? Now, if my slope is negative, let's say I have a negative 3/4. And remember, sometimes you ask me, well, where does the negative go? Is it the 3 or the 4? It don't matter. I can go up. If my slope is negative, my line is coming down like this, right? So I can go down, right. One negative move down, one positive move right. And I'm going to get my point. Now, we're not going to draw those steps. I'm just showing you that for the moves. Down, right. And I'm going to get back to my line. This is how I'm going to create my line, by these moves. I could go up and left. One positive, up is a positive move. One negative, left is a negative move, but I get right back to my line, up and left. Okay, so that's how we use the slope to get our new points that we need. When I have a starting point and I need to continue to find other points on my line, that's how I'm going to use my slope to find those points. All right, I'm going to put this one away. And I'm going to pull out this slide. Now, this is my starting points, my B. That's where I'm going to get started with my graph. Wherever I have this number, it's going on that y-axis. If that's a positive 3, I'm going to come up 3. If it's a negative 2, I'd go down to 2. Okay? When I'm going to be graphing from this equation, that B is so important because that's where I'm going to start. That's not where my graph begins or ends, but that's where I'm going to start to create my graph. And if there isn't a number there, maybe it is the equation just y equals mx, then my point to start is going to be right there. Okay? So far we've got the slope, which gives us direction of how far up and how far over we're going to go, and the y-intercept, which gets us a starting point. All right, let me put this one away. And So just looking at our vocabulary a little bit, and these problems are on that paper I gave you. What is my slope? Just identify your slope and your y-intercept on this paper. So my slope is always the coefficient of x, not the x, but the number sitting in front. So on this one, my slope is 1/2. My y-intercept, remember when you have the y-intercept, x is always 0 and b is 5. So what this equation is telling me is I'm going to go to the 5 on y and I'm going to plot a point. Then I'm going to rise 1 and run 2. I'm going to go up 1, right 2 to get my next point. What about this one here? Slope is 3. Y-intercept, include that negative, 0, -8. So I would go to the graph, the y-axis at -8, and I would plot that point. And then I would go up 3, and how do I make a whole number look like a fraction? I make a 1. So I would go up 3 and right 1, or down 3 and left 1. So let's talk about this one. Slope is 2. Y-intercept, 0, 1. What about this one here? What is slope? That number that I don't write, but that you've got to know is there. My slope is 1. And my y-intercept, 0, -3. Okay? All right, I'm going to put this one away. Okay, so now we're going to start practicing. Practice what you preach. My y-intercept, my start point, is this -2. So I'm coming to my origin and I'm going to go down 2, right there. Okay? My slope is 2/3. That means my rise is 2. So I'm going to go up 2. My run is 3. So I'm going to go right 3. This is a positive slope, so I'm using my moves for a positive slope. Up 2, right 3. Again, up 2, right 3. 2, 3. Now, you see how all of my points are on one side of the graph and I don't have any over here? Well, that's why I'm going to use my other. What is my other moves for my positive slope? Both of them being negative. Down is negative, left is negative. So down and left is dividing two negatives, which is going to give me that positive slope. So back here at my start point, down 2 and left 3. Down 2 and left 3. Okay, and then we're going to get a straight edge. And we're going to draw our line through our points. And that's it. You have graphed the line. Every one of these points are called solutions. If I have a point on a line, it is a solution to this equation. Because remember, when we first started working, we said these equations, they're the line. And any point on that line is a solution. So if I look and I say, okay, I have the coordinate point, x is 6 and y is 2. So I could say 2 is equal to 2/3 times 6 minus 2. I took out the 2 and the 6. If this is true, then I'm doing good. 2 times 6 is 12, divided by 3 is 4. So 2 equals 4 minus 2. Yep, that's true. Knowing if this is a solution. Okay, I'm going to erase this and put this slide away, and we're going to try another one. Now this time my slope is negative. So I'm going to be using my negative moves, up and left, or down and right. So where am I going to start? At 4. So straight up to 4 on that y-axis, because remember, this is your y-intercept. Anything on the y-axis is considered a y-intercept. So 0, 4, right there. All right, now 3, 4. It's negative, so I need one positive move and one negative move. So if I go up, then I'm going to go left. If I go down, then I'm going to go right. So up 3, left 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Whoop. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to get my ruler out. Negative slope, you know it's supposed, because this number is negative right here, you know that this line is supposed to be slanting down. A little bit better on the accuracy there. And draw your line. And you're done. Okay, let's check one of these coordinate points. How about 4, 1? Remember, all of these points on the line, every single point on a line is a solution. And how do I tell? I plug it in. I've got x is 4 and y is 1. So I'm going to take and do the math for 1 equals negative 3/4 times 4. So negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Divided by 4 gives me that negative 3. These two guys basically just cancel each other out. So now I've got 1 equals negative 3 plus 4. Is that right? Yes, that's right. So I know that my line is right. Okay, trying one more of these. Put this guy away. And let's look at this guy. Okay. This time, my y-intercept, -3. So I'm coming down 1, 2, 3 to -3. There's my start point. Always from that guy at the end. My slope is +1. So that means I have got 1/1. Whenever I have a whole number, my run in my bottom number is always just going to be 1. So I'm going to go up 1, right 1, and plot a point. Up 1, right 1, plot a point. Up 1, right 1. Okay? Down. 1/1. Down and left. Still positive because dividing, remember, fraction's a division problem. Dividing two problems, right? Let me get my ruler. Dividing two negatives, make a positive. A little bit better on my accuracy there. That should be, there we go. Well, I think that's going to be about as accurate as I get today, but that should be a 45-degree angle. Okay. Yes? Pick a point. Let's see if it's a solution. I'm always going to be picking out of here in quadrant 1 because if I want to test something and I can make it easier, I'm going to. So what is this coordinate? X is 5 and Y is 2. So I'm going to come to my equation, and instead of writing the Y, I'm going to put in 2. And instead of the X, I'm going to put in 5. So I have 2 = 5 minus 3. Is that true? Yes, that's true. This is a solution for this equation. Okay? All right, let's one more example. And I hope you've been answering your questions. And I'm hoping I'm making it under 12 minutes here. Keep it low. And put this one away and get this guy out. Last one. This time I have y equals 2x plus 1. Oy. All right, we're going to leave it as it is. Y-intercept, 1, coming up to 1 on my y-axis. Slope is a +2, so I know that my line's got to be going in a positive direction. My rise, how do I make a whole number 2 into a fraction? I put a 1 under it. 2/1. So up and right. Down and left. Up 2, right 1. 2, 1. Down 2 and left 1. Okay, straight edge. Draw my line. Okay. So far, so good. Looking good. What about testing any solution? I have this coordinate, right here. That is, x is 3 and y is 7. So 7 equals 2 times 3 plus 1. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1. That's true. This is a solution. Okay, guys. That's it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.